Hello, hello. Hello, world. You seeing it? Yep. People
Yeah.
fourth quarter starting. I'm calling it the Ham Megacast. I'm getting comments from people like crazy. Did it work is the question. It says on my Twitter the broadcast ended, but people are popping up.
Let me check.
You watching ESPN or ESPN2?
I think they're kind of you're up and rocking and rolling.
Okay. What's up, everybody? Man, I gotta get the notifications blowing up here.
I think they're doing Lewis and Levy and these guys a little dirty. I mean, Peyton Manning, Charles Barkley, Roger Goodell, Russell Wilson,
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban right after practice. You see that subtle jab like he just got home, he'd been working.
I didn't get to see much of the first half. I turned it on for the halftime band, he said. For the band. They weren't live, were they?
Who? Herb Street?
So. No, the Killers. From the roof of whatever hotel they were on.
That's a great question. I don't know.
I don't think they were.
I wasn't really paying attention when they came on. I saw people tweeting, is that their only song? And I think the answer might be yes.
No, they have another song. To me, their best song is called The Man. I'm the man.
I don't really do the Killers, to be honest with you.
All right, so we've got you've got this game at 48 and a half.
Oh!
Let's see how delayed is this?
Well,
1,
we're
2,
probably
3,
15 seconds delayed.
4, 5 seconds is what I see on this. Well, I don't know if that's
Yeah, we're like
on the stream itself.
Yeah, I think we're pretty delayed. Probably 20 plus.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Feed.
I wonder if it has to do because we're streaming live on YouTube and Periscope.
Nah, it's the third-party software we're using.
Automatically delays you.
I think it's just going through an extra step. Are the Raiders really going to win this game?
Well, no, the Saints just recovered a fumble.
Well, I know, but you saying it feels a little like the Chargers-Chiefs game yesterday? I mean,
well, I would have said yes, the Raiders are going to win the game up until that just happened. I was pretty convinced when I came into my office, flipped on the thing, like the Raiders were going to win. Now that play, I don't know if they're going to lose, but I think it's just a coin flip game now, especially if the Saints score here. Like Derek's played really well. He is 25 of 33 for 250 yards, 3 touchdowns through 3 quarters. Like that's about as good of a game prime time as he'll ever have. I mean, that's a fucking fantastic game.
Yeah, I mean, plus scoring drive at the end of the first half.
Yeah, he's been awesome.
4th and 1 touchdown to Waller. That was just a beautiful play.
You
converted
agree,
a couple
they
big
score
fourth downs.
here. There's a little more pressure. Tie game, 4th quarter at home. The Saints. We'll see.
Yes, a more pressure on the Raiders. Yeah, there's no like front run, get the chill in the 4th quarter, put the Saints away.
Because you would agree if they scored
victory
right there to make it 31-17, they would have kind of been in the driver's seat. They got a great running back. They could kind of run out the clock if they got the ball back, or at least just take off some clock. Like they could have front run a little bit. It would have been hard for them to lose, in my opinion, up 31-17 unless they turned it over. But to turn it over up 1 score, I don't know. Where'd they just turn it over? Midfield? Do you think Gruden was going to go for it right there? Were you a little surprised?
Sorry, can't say I was locked into that situational moment.
He went for it on a 4th and 1. I saw someone.
Oh, you're talking about at the 43. Yeah, I love that call.
I do too. But did you think that was John Gruden going for it?
Well, I mean, I think he's had so much success, even though what's Jacobs in the second half because he was 11 for 26 yards in the first half.
He's 19 of 52. How many yards do you have at the halftime?
He had 26 yards, so he's 8 for, what'd you say, 52?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's been better in the second half.
So they got the ball at the 40, their own 40. It's called their own 40, right? Not the Raiders 40? I always get that confused.
Yeah, their own 40.
Oops. How good is this guy?
I had him No, maybe I didn't have him in DraftKings this week. I think I cruised into an 88th place finish, John.
I don't even check. I just
Get
plan on
into
losing.
you definitely finished behind me. We have or ahead of me. We've got 51 spots left in our DraftKings for this week. Use the promo code HAM when you sign up. 99 people in, 150 total spots. By the way,
Are we streaming on YouTube too?
we are streaming on YouTube.
Check out the YouTube page. Hey, we're Middlecoff.
Definitely check out the YouTube.
No
Subscribe.
big deal. Fucking
We are
videos going nuts.
barreling towards 4,000 subscribers on YouTube right now.
Do you think we can get to 5K by October 1st? Got to swing for the
I wouldn't
fences.
rule it out. I love
I mean,
the
my goal was 10K by
end of the year.
2021.
I like it. Let me check the YouTube page. Just make sure everything's okay there. Yeah, it looks like it's live on YouTube. I mean, look, if we're a little delayed here, I guess the goal is not to be like, I mean, it's second screen, but you know what's interesting about the Megacast was they were rarely reacting to anything happening in the game.
Well,
Now,
they
I'm
weren't really watching.
That was the first half. Chuck was watching because Charles kept screaming and yelling every time the Raiders made a play. You know,
Can
to
I
me,
give
like that's cool. To late game, like this tight game, I can't watch a Megacast, but not because it's not the Megacast fault.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, that had to be one of the more star-studded random megacasts on a Week 2 NFL game in the history of megacasts. I mean, they had Russell Wilson, Peyton Manning, Charles Barkley, Nick Saban, Roger Goodell, just casually like
A-Rod.
popping in. A-Rod was on it too?
Well, maybe he hasn't been on yet, but I saw the schedule that he's going to be on it.
Like, listen, I felt I know one of the guys on this
If
broadcast.
one of you will give Nick Bosa your ACL, I'll subscribe, says Joe.
I feel
Done.
bad. Steve Levy, and regardless what you think of Steve Levy, had to read a promo for the megacast.
Oh, he did?
Like, yeah, he read
when
a
you
promo.
said they
like,
had him read a promo, I thought you meant they had Russell Wilson read a promo. They had Levy
no, they
read a
had
promo?
Steve Levy read a promo
Look,
like about watching on ESPN too. Talk
ESPN's
about
attitude
being a
is like,
company guy.
They watch you. They watch on ESPN too. They're watching us. We're just trying to keep eyeballs.
I thought that was fun. I mean, Steve Levy can't be. I mean, he knows what he's doing, right? That sucks. Like, just what a turn on to the other broadcasts. I don't know, to watch Peyton Manning talk about the game because he doesn't know exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Can I give a take on the three-man booth? Well, I can because we can say whatever we want. I do think they should do it a little less traditional broadcast and try to be a little different. I don't exactly know how. You know, I just
Wait, what does that have to do with the three-man booth?
I just think you have more voices. It almost like a podcast format as the game's going on while you're talking about the game. You know, it's a little harder to go back and forth. I don't know.
So
I
think first of all, three-man booths are really difficult.
that's what I'm saying.
But the challenge though is like the play, the plays are always going to be just there's a natural rhythm that you're gonna stop for a play. You're saying treat it a little bit more.
Yeah,
at least for
just
some of the
kinda-
game. To me, you can't do that when the plays matter, but I do think you can talk through plays for sure.
I think a large percentage of the game, would you agree, doesn't really matter. There's just kind of
like,
plays happening.
the way you
and so
would
you can kind of tell stories, talk about players, give some, I don't know, just do some interesting shit.
Yeah, I mean,
I
the
just
way
think sometimes
you would
the
do a game if
monotony
it's
of
a
calling
bad
a game the same over and over and over can be a little dry, especially when you're just throwing in guys that aren't as famous. Like when you just throw Gruden or Madden, for example, I would go traditional. Like let them just thrive. These
the
guys.
problem is harder to. It's actually to me harder to do that with three people.
Well, that's just part of like it's already hard enough to do the game, right? Just with three people.
I'm just saying like that kind of more casual. Let's just hang and chat is probably I would think a little easier with two people.
I just think there's something
because there are some basic things you do have to get in, and with three people, I think it's a little harder to do some of those basic things.
But why are there basic things that you have to get in? Because they've always done it that way. Like, who really cares? Does a consumer?
No,
I
think I think there are moments in the game that matter. You need to call You need to call people's attention to some. Drew Brees is now lined up at the bottom of the screen. Taysom Hill's taking the snap.
I would agree on just. But do they really?
I think so. Like,
Oh, they just go 3 and out. I mean, are we not going to get to 48? For the love of God.
I did see somebody say early in the week, I think it opened at like 50 or 51, that the under was going to be the play, but then people must have hammered it because it went down. Do we have an early look?
Cut. I'm in a little trouble.
Here we are complaining that they talk about every play. We're going play by play. Again,
I'm not necessarily complaining. Here? I wonder if they could do something a little different.
Because I don't think there's any question
with that booth is you just have some voices that the 10, 15, 20 million people aren't used to hearing that are really, Greasy and Lewis, they know their shit, they're smart, they're an easy listen. It's just those two guys when they talk, it just can kind of be easy. And both of them, Lewis been around the NFL forever. Greasy's dad was a legend. He played in the NFL forever, 4 guys. I just think they could do some stuff. I don't exactly know the answer.
Well, but
I just think there's something there.
I think that, but I think people have been trying to do this for a long time. Even if they don't verbally say that, I think to me that's what the best broadcasts do. That is what, right? When people watched Herbie and Fowler, they've been together forever. That's what the best broadcasts do. I think it's what your local baseball broadcast usually does really well, because there's 162. You're not living and dying with every pitch, right? I think
it's
see
perfect
it's
for
easy to do in baseball. Definitely you do it in basketball all the time, right? Like that's what basketball on TV is. Right?
Just a podcast kind of?
Yeah, it's a lot of chatting. Yeah. You're not going
it's a lot of Jeff Van Gundy giving his takes on big picture shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Please hit a touchdown here, Derek. God, Waller is killing them. Go for a touchdown, John. Throw, keep pedal to the metal. Waller's having a hell of a night. He's got 11 catches for like 100 yards. Just destroying. Is Marcus Williams? I always fuck up that guy's name.
Yeah, that's the guy from Utah, from the Vikings game.
Yeah, that put the head down and did a little whiff of Rooney.
Let's check out the stats here. Got him on the screen. Look at this car line. 26 of 34, 263, 3 touchdowns. Waller, 11 for 101 and a touchdown.
And they're throwing it to him again. Throw it to him, Derek.
You're talking third string right tackle. Did Incognito come back into this game?
Not super locked in at right guard.
I'll tell you right now. Let's take a look. Has anyone mentioned that Jason Witten used to be on Monday Night Football? Has that been, to me, that should get brought up on every Monday Night Football game and really every Raiders broadcast. That should not go unmentioned.
He called Monday Night Football last year. Oh,
no, 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Did he do it? Well, who did it last year?
Just Booger, remember?
Oh, yeah, he was on the Cowboys.
He went back. He came back.
Okay. It does feel like he was just there, doesn't he?
Somebody whose name is in cursive said Incognito's still out.
Incognito not in the game. Just keep giving him yards. Get down the field and score.
Who is the blonde-haired guy on the Saints?
The white defensive lineman?
Yeah, with the long hair, his hair covers his name.
Who hit Derek in the face? When Derek was like, he hit me in the face. He hit me in the face. We're good, coach. 15 years, he hit me in the face. Derek, you almost now maybe watching the replay, he threw it up like that because he was getting hit in the face as he was throwing the ball. He did throw a jump ball to Renfro, but he was actually a really good little slot receiver. How about Devontae Booker resurrecting his career?
Alex Anzalone, Florida. Yeah, Devontae. 100 penalty yards against the Saints, and they're not even wearing black uniforms. I thought it was the uniform color that got you all the penalties. That's what Raider fans have been telling me for my whole life.
I thought it was the commissioner hates Roger Goodell, Al Davis. Oh. Malcolm finally made a fucking play.
By the way, so we're 2-0 our locks of the week in my bookie, John. Should we take as this game, maybe next commercial break, we'll take a peek at some of this week's lines. We have not picked our lock of the week yet.
Well, I'll be honest. I did a little recon. Talked to some people on the inside of a team that just played the Giants.
Oh.
They don't think they're very good, and it's going to be very, very tough with the main guy out. Now, my problem, and I saw the number was like 4.5, 5. Do you trust betting on a backup quarterback in an NFL game? Like, that's pretty risky, right?
Is the door? It feels like the door might, even though I would be surprised if Jimmy plays. Kyle kind of left the door open today. Seemed
But
like
if Jimmy was 100% healthy, what would the line of Saquon-less Giants be? 7.5?
yeah. See, I was gonna say 6.5, 7.5. You're right. It wouldn't stay at 6.5.
Would 4 tempt you?
Yeah, it would tempt me. It would. I watched some of that game today. Did you see
You are betting on a backup quarterback. I just think in general that philosophy is pretty. Go Renfro, go!
You're probably better off. We just got 9 minutes, John. You got time here. I think your over is in good shape.
Well, did he just get a concussion?
Um,
Did you think what's his name died earlier today for a split second?
yes,
Like,
I thought they needed to get the camera off of him because they're going to bring a blanket out to cover him in a minute. Jonathan Abram.
How about the replay of the collision? Like, he flew in backwards because he kind of fell.
Sliding kind of on his back. I couldn't tell. Did he get stuck under the thing or what?
I would imagine it hurt pretty good.
The Saints look like an NFC contender to you?
I mean, their best player.
Truly,
their best player on their team is out.
Well, I know, but I mean, it's a high ankle sprain. For a receiver, is Michael Thomas going to be 100% healthy the rest of the year? I would bet no.
I'd say their coverage looks a little questionable right tonight. They don't have safety play shitty. They have one good corner in theory, the kid Lattimore. Sean Payton doesn't even. How fast Sean Payton getting the fine letter tomorrow? Like, have you watched this game? Is Gruden a fine guy, or because Peyton's a lock fine?
Well, how about Belichick? Where Belichick yesterday had like a beak, but it didn't cover his mouth, but it kind of did. Andy, I thought, looked upgraded with the clear shield that you barely noticed it because he wasn't fogging it up. But should somebody maybe tell Sean Payton, like, hey, FYI, at halftime?
Well, he hates the commissioner, right?
Yeah, but does he want his $100,000 or not? Like, is that you're just going to out of spite pay $100,000, or does he go like, I had COVID, I should be exempt from the mask rule? Let's look at some lines while we're thinking about this. You can give us your takes. Here, John, I'm going to throw these up.
I don't even think Kyle once put it over. Like, Kyle was a royal. My question is, I texted a couple people, I haven't got answers. If people in the league think it's just optics, because my take is they are just completely covering their ass, just completely for the money, that they don't even want to risk it. Because the head coaches, in fairness, like all the assistant coaches are wearing it.
Yeah.
But like, I think a head coach would be like, I've been tested every day for fucking 60 days. So have the players. It is no different than any of us. I have to call, and if I'm Kyle, I have to call the plays.
There's no doubt. And they would say, where are you? But to your point, it's like, how can you argue with the NFL? I mean, you can because it seems dumb. But can you argue if they go, look, we know it seems dumb, but do you understand how much money is on the line? Look at this beautiful new stadium Mark has. It's going to be empty for the whole year, right? Until the playoffs, at least.
But I think it's not even about empty or not. It's just about these games pay for everything we got.
I know it's not about empty. I'm saying look at all the money we're not making this year. Do not put the money we are making in jeopardy.
Yeah, you could fuck us.
All right, Dolphins plus 2.5 at the Jags. That's Thursday night. Don't love that.
Yeah, no.
Rams plus 2.5 at the Bills. I'll tell you, I've liked the Rams 2 weeks in a row when they got points.
My philosophy is 2 playoff teams. I am staying away from those.
Okay,
teams.
Buffalo. I understand that. For people who haven't been following our picks for the first 2 weeks, that has been our philosophy, right? It's like find the worst team
on a really shitty team.
Yeah.
And bet them.
Texans plus 3.5. Pittsburgh, maybe consider.
Well, I
texted
someone. I texted someone today. Could the Texans be a 4-win team? And the more you think about it, you're like, Deshaun's good enough, but is it crazy?
It seems a little crazy. 4, but 6, 7.
That is.
Go Kart Mozart just asked, "What the fuck is Love Island?" It's been on 6 months. It's been 6 months, day and night on CBS. I have not. Have you watched it? Love Island.
Go to those channels on Sunday.
Titans minus 2.5 Minnesota. No. How about Cincy plus 6.5 at Philly?
I think I would
take Philly.
Yeah, but I also just wouldn't mess with just what if those are just two bad teams.
Raiders are going to score.
Did you see ask Doug today? Like, have you seen things in Carson's game that something about with the word regression?
Who asked him?
And he's
Just
like,
somebody?
just someone in the Monday morning press conference. His answer was like, "Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like definitive. It kind of sounded like pick up your shit, bro."
All right, what else we got here? John. So you texted me yesterday. You said, should we consider Jets Indy minus 8.5?
Yeah. What's that line at 12?
10.5.
Yeah. That was a pretty tasty line. Did you? I heard some clips of Adam Gase after the game. It was getting testy. He was claiming they were moving the ball, and people were saying, "What game were you watching?" It just got a little uncomfortable.
At the end of the game. They moved the ball at the end of the game. Arizona minus 5.5 at home. Detroit. Tampa minus 6 at Denver. Dallas plus 4.5 at Seattle.
I just need
Kansas City plus 3 at Baltimore.
I just don't fuck with those two. I mean, you're basically.
I don't know what to. I mean, like how?
Yeah, to me, then it's just Niners.
The Niners minus 4.5.
I'm betting against the Giants, then, because I think our philosophy is we felt pretty good in both games, right? I like just taking a chance against a really shitty team.
Yeah.
Now we're going down this well again. So, but I thought about this today. Can you really go wrong just whenever you get a team that you think's like a playoff team or a fringe playoff team betting against like Gase and Judge right now? I mean, they might combine guy for like 3 wins. So if you bet against them every week, maybe you get burned twice over this 3 times over the season. There's a chance the Jets don't win 1 game and the Giants win 2. So if we had 2 bets going a week and bet against them every game, maybe they'd cover like 4 spreads all year long. Is there a chance the Jets don't cover 1 spread all year long? You would say it would. I would imagine it's never happened before, but go baby, go baby, go baby, go baby, go baby. Well, I'm not in the clear yet though. I'm not a math major.
Well, that's 47. You had 48.5. Is the over-under?
Yeah.
I think you're fine. I think somebody's going to – I mean, New Orleans.
Well, they won't kick a field goal, right?
It's true, but the Raiders might score again. We got plenty of time. We talked about this on the podcast last night and today, and you could watch that video if you want. We both took the Saints to cover, but not because we didn't think the Raiders could cover or even win this game, whatever it was, 4.5, 5.5. Just because it was like, all right, I'm not betting on the Raiders until they prove it. They're proving it right now.
They've been awesome.
And you're right, no Michael Thomas. But I did say last week after that Bucs game that I just thought the Saints did not look like not as special as people. Kamara clearly is.
He's sweet. Is Breeze just a guy? Have you seen any shots of famous Jameis in this game?
No.
I don't think I've seen him.
I have not.
How much time's left in this game? 7:43.
Jordan says Cards minus 5.5 could be a play.
Who are they playing?
What did I say? Detroit? Arizona's playing Detroit, yeah. Did you see that this week?
One thing I would say is Stafford against that Cardinals defense. Like that actually could be a little upset special this week, I feel. Like Lions, Detroit. Cardinals.
Too many people will be on them.
I could just see everyone picking the Cardinals.
Did you see this week that
Tampa at Denver? What about that? Do you see Denver? A ton of injuries. Driscoll.
Yeah. Sutton's out. ACL. Locke is out, right? Shoulder.
Yeah, for weeks.
Look at this week 3 schedule here. Check
Not
this
good.
out. No, so we've got a bunch of there's more afternoon games. There's 5 afternoon games this week, which means, just a little easier to watch in the morning.
Who's the afternoon? Jets, Colts. That's weird.
That is weird. Carolina,
Lions,
LA. Can we talk? We'll get back to that in a second. What Carolina Chargers would be the perfect game for Justin Herbert to start again. Tampa, Denver, Detroit, Arizona.
Their head coach doubled down
Dallas,
today
Seattle.
and talked some shit.
I know. He was like, well, we made a lot of things he didn't do right. A lot of things he didn't do right in the game. He found out he was starting 5 minutes beforehand.
and made your offense look dramatically better than it did the week before against the Cincinnati Bengals. You agree those comments? I'm all for coaching guys hard. I thought those comments were borderline like, what the fuck are you doing, Anthony Lynn?
Well,
like the guy, it's not, this
jumping
guy,
all
kid
over
isn't
on
a
the,
slapdick. You don't need to like
people.
light him up.
To me, it was more about, I think that's what you say when the eyeball test is undeniable. And you're like, well, no. I know what it looked like, but there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes you guys don't know about.
Yeah, but who is arguing the eyeball test
me,
after that game? Because everyone
Anthony
thinks they're
Lynn's
like crowning him.
Huh?
Because like the media's crowning him and
I'm
just
just saying
fans.
all of us who watched the game are claiming the eyeball test because we're like, we watched him, he should play.
What do you think his teammates thought then?
Well, that's why I saw somebody say, like, you can't, Anthony doesn't want to lose the locker room. Like, lose the locker room? What?
Keenan and Mike are like,
Do you remember, did you see that episode of Hard
Deuces.
Knocks when they were all like, do you see the way this dude throws the ball? It was the receivers were talking. I think it might have been Keenan. Like, look at
was it Keenan? Like, god damn. Didn't Chris Harris say something too? Like, God, this guy's got
Chris Harris did say something. You're right.
Now, he does need to throw, go, take it to the house, take it to the house. This guy's good. They got him like Division 7. Remember this guy against the Niners last year?
Came out of nowhere. What's his name?
Something Harris. I don't know, but he can fly.
Deontay.
Fly.
Yeah, because isn't he from like a D5 school?
Yeah, school that no one's ever heard of except Sean Payton and
No,
Belichick.
do you remember what it is? It's a good school. Assumption College.
Is it like an academic school?
Oh, I don't know. I just remember the name is Assumption. I think it's like D3. I will say these Saints uniforms are some of the cleanest uniforms in the NFL.
They look sweet. I'm going to need some plays here. I mean, Breeze does look terrible. Go, baby. Go, baby. Go. This guy's fast.
What's Ruggs up to today?
I don't think he has a catch.
1 for 4.
When was that? Do you remember that catch?
It was in the second. I don't think it was in the. Maybe it was in the first half actually.
You know who looks sweet just standing there, and clearly he's got some talent. Is that Brian Edwards?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he looks like DK Metcalf or something. Go, baby. Go, baby. Yeah, you're probably right. I'm okay.
I think you're really safe. How does Kamara get away with the dark visor?
Grandfathered?
There are no Padres, says Daniel. D5? Maybe it's, thank you. Derek E-Ray watching. Pride of Oregon State football. Middlecoff.
When's your first game, Derek? Not allowed to say.
E-Ray, but I mean, how about how good this field looks? Can we give a shout out to the Raiders grounds crew for no problems day one with this gorgeous field?
This is grass.
Sure looks like it to me, doesn't it? Oh, can I give you a little scoopage I heard?
You hear Mark Davis in Boston or something they said tonight?
I thought he was just at a hotel, at like a watch party at like the team facility.
Oh, is that what they said?
That's what I thought.
I just saw someone said on Twitter, well, what's Mark Davis doing in Boston? I didn't hear his name.
I thought
Beside Levy kind of getting
actually
his back saying, like, you know, it's a commendable thing to do, which I agree.
Somebody tweeted at me that he was doing something and the tickets were being sold.
With, like, season ticket holders?
Yeah, with like 1,500.
100?
No, not that many people. Here we go. Mark Davis.
I'm running out of time,
Davis donate a pair of prominent Vegas charities, a watch party at the team's Henderson headquarters, 30 guests, 15 invitations, so 15 people plus and a plus one. So
Mayock?
Mayock, do you think every Raider game on TV in perpetuity is just going to play Vegas show tunes going out to commercial, coming back from commercial? Because I could do it like Monday Night Football and a few big games, but I can't do it every game.
That's good. I didn't think about it that much. It felt a little more Monday Night Football than it would, but who knows? I mean, isn't that like every producer's dream? Like, bro, I got Sinatra. You know, play Sinatra. And then even Levy was like, let it play. It's like, okay, yeah, we fucking know they're in Vegas. We've all been there, especially us out here countless times. We get it. But to me, game one, I think it is kind of funny and cool. It does look sweet. It does look badass.
Somebody just asked if there's been an ACL today. I don't think so, but we got a incognito Achilles, which I've been saying this for months. We're gonna have a bunch of injuries. It's what happened after the lockout.
Is that grass?
I'm pretty sure it's grass. Listen to this though. According to a source I spoke with, who's very familiar with the AstroTurf situation. Somebody told me who would know that there's not a single NFL team that has artificial surface that has the top of the line artificial surface. That like that field that I just assumed MetLife must be the best possible.
You're
artificial
saying because the
surface you
price
can get.
point is X and they go a little bit under it.
And I said, well, how much do you think they save? And he said $150,000. Because I guess the field at MetLife is like some sand rubber combo that does. It's not the high. I don't know enough
Well,
about
my
it. To know,
my
but that
pushback would be who owns the best artificial? Like who buys it then?
No. Oh, from what I was
Like-
told, most other schools, like high schools and colleges, do get the best stuff.
So you're saying like the Texas high school has?
I'm
the
saying,
Swedish-
from what I was told, most of their products sold are the higher end stuff than is in NFL stadiums. And I said,
And no NFL
I said,
team has the
how
highest.
many NFL teams have the highest end? And the answer was none.
So you're telling me like the Minnesota Vikings,
There you go. Never
the
a doubt.
Minnesota Vikings, and those teams do not have the highest, and that is insane if true.
That
And
is
honestly,
insane
it's
if
very
true.
it is very believable though. But
So
also like, is it like you're? So what is the amount? Is it like $1 million for field turf? Like
yeah,
what?
that I don't know what a field costs. All I know is when I texted this guy who knows football very well and knows the AstroTurf game, and he said they've got some sand combo at MetLife that does tend to grab your cleats a little more than some of the other versions do.
Because to me, if you're spending $1 million, right, or you're spending $850,000 to get the 2-1, why wouldn't you just spend $1 million? You're writing it off anyway.
Especially, how about if you're the Giants? You're like, well, you're telling me Saquon could get hurt on this stuff? I mean, he could get hurt. Now he got hurt on grass yesterday. To be fair, right?
I don't know the details of that situation. I wonder if they split the costs. Because if they split the cost, that's even more embarrassing,
They
right?
have to split the cost.
I remember, because I've been there a couple times, I thought it was more of a Giants production than it was the Jets production.
Oh, really?
They were
is it
long,
kind of
yeah.
a split?
I thought it was more Giants than Jets, and they're just part of. But it's not like it's not acrimonious like it was going to be with the Niners and Raiders. It was just like, yeah, we're just a package deal here, but this is our stadium because their practice facility, the Giants, is right at Met. Like you see it right when you pull in. It's right there. Maybe I always assume that because literally their practice facility was right there, and I think the Jets is somewhere else. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe just Jersey owns it and they pay like a rent fee because they don't really have anything to do with that place. Like when you think Levi's, right, or now the Raider Stadium or the Ram Stadium, like it is a huge part of everything they do, right? Just the concerts, like the Niners run it. I feel like MetLife has a Lady Gaga. It's like
Yeah,
it's a Giants
it's-
production.
You're right. It does feel
Yeah.
that way.
So I don't know. Because like Kenny Chesney plays at Foxborough. Like that's Robert Kraft's place, right? Like it's a Patriots are running that thing. Or you play at the Link in Philly. Like that's Jeffrey Lurie's thing.
We have an onside kick coming.
How
I-
do these teams
Only one timeout. Why do they only have one timeout left?
Well, Derek called the delay game in like the third quarter calling timeouts, but I don't know when the Saints wasted their timeouts. How do they? You rarely look up 5 minutes left in the game and see both teams with a total of 2 timeouts. Like that's in the NFL. Peyton, someone's gonna get criticized for this if this doesn't pay off, right? They don't have timeouts to call.
Would
they
you have
don't.
kicked there? I think I would have, but
Yeah, to me, if that number was like 3:10, I think you'd have to start thinking about it. I'd say 4:27. I mean, they're going to give it to Jacobs twice.
somebody on YouTube says lost challenge a fumble. Thank you guys.
I'm trying to think when they've challenged the fumble.
Dallas, it was a clear non-fumble. He said on Renfro, Saints challenged a Renfro catch and loss. I mean, this is Josh Jacobs' ball game.
I actually think if you're going to nail it, you want to do it on the first one, right? It's better to have him hit on first down because it really just, you waste 40 seconds, but you're still, so it's going to go, they're going to snap it about 3:30. Yeah, you're still okay because you have the 2-minute warning. You agree with that?
Yeah, it's not actually. You're saying that's better than
You would
picking up
rather
9
have them
yards.
hit that on second. If they hit on second down, they get to run, 80 seconds worth of clock.
Right. You're saying if you're the Saints, you'd rather give up
Yeah.
11 yards than 9. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Analytics.
Or even just 5-5 or whatever it adds up to.
Right. But now you need stops.
Yeah, 90 subs. I don't know. I mean, this would be a nice little win for Gruden and the Raiders.
I mean, this is one of their more impressive wins.
Does Gruden let him throw it here? Because to me, you might throw it on second down.
How about they've had a couple, John, the Alex Ingold play and the Darren Waller play. They've had a couple of sweet plays.
Yeah, they
in
have.
this game. That guys have been wide open.
After that first series was ugly. People were like, Middlekauff, where were you? Where are you now? Like, guys, that first series of Derek was atrocious.
The game, yeah, it was not.
It felt like, and then he settled down and he started lighting them up. He's 28 of 38. It's a really good game. I got him again. Cam Jordan's a monster. Tedford. Sonny Dykes didn't quite recruit guys that look like that.
How about
Wilcox has wet dreams about recruiting a guy like that, doesn't he? I mean, that's like everything he thinks about those type players. Gruden gonna get fined?
I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think I've never seen Kyle put it up. Kyle's was a defiance. Pete, I don't even think is paying attention. Fangio, I'd also say not paying attention. To me, Kyle knew, he just didn't give a fuck. And I don't blame him.
Here we go.
There's a big throw guy.
Letting him throw. No flag. There's the flag. That looked like a flag on the first look to me.
Well, I thought he was holding his hand.
Yeah. How about the open with John Perry where he tells you what he's looking for in Drew Brees snap counts? Did you catch that?
Some LBs. Have you noticed that?
Who?
John. Looks kind of big.
I mean, what are you doing? Is that Lewis talking or Greasy talking? I don't have it loud enough.
Greasy.
I like them together.
I actually don't know if it's the game because you stop him right here, you call timeout right away.
You get the 2 minute.
Or you call, then you get the 2 minute, and then you just got to stop him on third down. But he's got to run some clock.
He let him throw. How about that? Ruggs is so fast. Sox Nation says Breeze is slowing down. Agree. Flag, flag, flag. I love the comments. Just say PI flag.
I would now run it 3 times.
Have the Raiders ever been -7 in penalties in the history of their franchise? Call us and let us know your thoughts.
Timeout. I didn't call it. Would you call timeout right there? I guess it doesn't matter.
I guess you call it after. Actually, it makes more sense to call it after, right?
Does it?
Probably is all the same.
I would have called timeout right there, and then it just runs down to 155.
But I guess it costs you 4 seconds or 5 seconds. So you're right. Of course, New Orleans gets it done with a PI, says Dom. That's a good point. Anyone who is in our DraftKings league, can I just say this real quick while we have a moment? I accidentally made the U.S. Open game an auto-renew game, so it launched again. Don't enter it this week because if it fills up, we'll have to play it. And the schedule this week is they're at Corrales Golf Club, wherever the hell that is. There's a PGA Tour event this week, John, that is not on television. If that DraftKings games fills, we'll all be playing in a DraftKings game that's not on TV.
Have you entered the game?
No, I pulled out of it. So
how many people are in the game?
Like 18. So I don't think it'll fill up. But if it does, I guess we'll just play it. Like it's not the worst thing in the world. It'll be kind of fun.
They won't cancel it?
They haven't replied to my request to cancel. But right now, the best odds to win, John, Will Zalatoris.
That guy's had some moments.
It actually, Mackenzie Hughes, Corey Connors, Adam Long, Charles Howell's going to go get his money.
I mean, if you've played DraftKings over the last 3 months, you know those names.
It's like Sepp Straka, Kyle Stanley.
I mean, I've played these guys.
Do you want to play this game no one will watch?
Rattle me off some more names.
Brendan Grace, Luke List, Henrik Norlander.
I don't hate some of these names.
Will Gordon.
The rookie from Vanderbilt, kind of like him.
Kevin Chappell.
DeChambeau.
Yep. Danny McCarthy, Henrik Stenson, Pat Perez. Did I say Brennan Grace?
Where's this game?
This event is at Punta Cana, Corrales Punta Cana, which is a resort. Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic. That's where it is.
God, that felt good. I realized after the NFL days, the NFL games ended yesterday, that I probably bet a little too much money on the U.S. Open.
Just taking some big swings, Bryce.
Yeah,
but
just throwing around like it's one thing to throw a couple like $75 bets, and I just realized they all added up to probably a little more than I assumed. Like, just like $75 bets. And then you're like, well, why? I won a couple $500 bets. Why don't I have more money? And you start adding it up. You're like, well, you put the positives and the negatives. They fucking basically equal the same thing. I'm like, you idiot. I also got like I peeked a couple times live values.
Yeah.
And there was one moment on Saturday. It was like, God, Xander's only 4 back, and you can get him at 10-1. And everyone, even the broadcast, was like, Xander is a sleeping giant right now. And I'm like, I agree. So I put a little money on him. That backfired. Pissed me off.
So YouTube is 8 seconds behind now. I don't know what Periscope Twitter is, but that's where YouTube is at this moment. By the way, not
20.
Not going to show up in the box score, right? Henry Ruggs going to show up with 1 catch, but that PI, like, he should get something for that. Like when everyone was saying, like the stat that no one has ever scored 39 points, taken the ball away 3 times, not had a turnover and lost like the Falcons did. You could argue, but an onside kick is kind of like a turnover, right? To me, that's where I would say Henry Ruggs didn't make a catch, but he got a pass interference on a big play.
Do not go out of bounds.
Forward progress stopped. John.
So they're getting the ball back. Now the problem is Drew Brees is not built to go. He ain't. Yeah, how is he going to do this?
Is this one of the most effective 26 carry for 85-yard performances you've seen, Josh Jacobs?
Well, to me, he's
27 for 87.
I'd say he's like a quarterback that like box scores don't ever do. Like he's a really good quarterback that sometimes doesn't have the best box scores. Like maybe Russell Wilson 4 or 5 years ago. Just watch the motherfucker play. He dominates. Would you do this?
54? I mean,
guy,
the
you
hell?
missed.
When they end the game?
I don't know, man. You missed right there. Did he just call timeout? What just happened?
Must have.
Did he?
Well, somebody did. What's Daniel
the
Carlson's
Saints don't have
odds?
one.
I know. How does the ball fly in Vegas? Desert air. Can they open the roof for this?
I think that desert air ball flies.
Career long is 54.
I think it's pretty risky, man.
I love when they do the pregame. He was hitting them for 56 in the pregame.
With like some fat guy next to him drinking a cup of coffee. It's like, oh my God. That's always, and like a ball boy, like listen to his music, and like the wide receiver behind him dancing.
The O-line, the offensive coordinator running sprints with his like earbuds in.
It's like, guys, I don't know. I don't know about this guy. I would punt and just.
Sabor says, are the Seahawks the best team in the NFC? I mean, so far, I would say yes.
This is ballsy, man. This is
like
ballsy.
Never a doubt.
You nailed it. Dagger.
Wow. So let's take a look here, Josh. Raiders going to be 2-0, second place in the division. Let's give it a peek at this schedule. Let me throw it up here. Been looking at some Ultra Boosts, as you can see.
Well, that game next week's a little more interesting now. I mean, the Raiders, they win that. I mean, fuck, they're 3-0. This is a big win tonight.
Yep.
I mean, they were a pretty heavy underdog. I mean, almost 6 points at home. That's not small, right?
No, it's not small. Although we gotta, I mean, if there was a crowd, would it have been 4.5? Peterman fired up. At New England, Buffalo, at Kansas City, the bye. So I mean, if they can get to that bye at 3-2,
Give me the stretch of games.
so at New England this week,
Okay.
Buffalo at home.
Short week.
But New England's coming from a Sunday night cross country, right?
And they've
Yeah.
just been watching this game, right?
True. Buffalo,
What would you guess the line is on that game?
New England.
Yeah.
I'll go
-3 New
3.5.
England.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Buffalo.
That is. You'd agree though. That's a pretty tough 3 week stretch. Bills.
Yeah,
Chiefs.
it's why when we were looking at this part after they beat Carolina, we started looking at the schedule, and you go, do they have to beat Carolina? No, I mean New Orleans. Excuse me, Carolina. Yeah, it's why you said Carolina was must win. But you look at New Orleans, you just go, well, it's gonna. You don't have to, but it would really help you, just because of what the next 3 weeks look like. But I think they could win either Buffalo or New England. The way they look today, offensively.
Yeah. Well, I think Buffalo's better than New England, but Cam will be a problem for them.
Bill's
To me, I'd say the one thing they need to eventually show is just some progress against Kansas City.
Yeah.
But you could argue like whatever, like they're not chasing Kansas City necessarily, even though technically they are. They're more just trying to get to 9 or 10 wins to be in a wild card.
But I'll tell you what, man, after they get through that, Tampa, okay, Cleveland, no gimme, but Chargers, Denver, KC, Atlanta, New York, Indy, Chargers, Dolphins, Denver. I mean,
well, is Tyrod or Herbert playing?
I mean, either way, they should be favored. In my mind,
I will.
At this point.
I'll
Raiders
say
should
this.
be favored in a Chargers game right now.
I'll say this about the Raiders. You said it last week, and I think it's pretty clear tonight. Though, I mean, to me, missing Michael Thomas is a pretty big deal. Drew Brees, he's not washed, but he's not Drew Brees of 5 years ago. He's not the guy that was breaking records with his family on the sideline throwing 400-yard games. Those days are over.
Earning certificates. Remember when they gave him a certificate for that?
But the Raiders, their defense isn't very good. It's pretty average. But their offense has a clear identity. They got fucking playmakers. Waller's a stud. Like, Waller's a Pro Bowler. Jacobs a Pro Bowler. And then they just got this rookie that looks like DK Metcalf physically, and I think they think he's going to be pretty good. Nelson Aguilar is an NFL player. He was a first-round pick who played on a Super Bowl team. Like, a guy you see tonight, like he's making NFL plays. Ruggs just has a unique skill set. Like, they have just a balanced offense. If Derek's going to play well, if you get good quarterback play with those weapons, like, your offense is going to be what, top 6, 7 in the league? I mean, that's just a top flight offensive unit when you just factor in elite speed, elite tight end, elite running back, and just like 2 or 3 other solid wide receivers.
What
more can you ask for?
What they score today? 34? Is that what the score was? They scored 34 last week, so back-to-back 34-point games.
Yeah, I mean, they got to be near the point. I mean, I know it's only 2 weeks, but I mean, they're got to be near the lead in scoring, right? Who's scored more than them? Seattle?
Well, KC week 1, right? Team stats, passing.
No, I don't think Kansas City only scored score was like 31-10 against Houston.
Seahawks have scored 9 touchdowns. Atlanta. Can I get points, please?
How did the Raiders get to? They had 3 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. What am I missing? Oh, and they kicked some field goals. So they got to 28 with 2 field goals.
I mean, Atlanta's offense is pretty good. Not much to show for it. Green Bay's offense.
Yeah.
If
you just had to think, you'd go.
Indy's put up points.
I'd put Seattle. I'm not even counting Atlanta. Of good teams,
Baltimore.
I'd go Seattle, Baltimore, Kansas City. You throw the Raiders in that mix, I mean, that's just. I think we'll have a better probably idea after like once they're going in the bye week. To me, if they get 30 points in one of the next two games, like they'll win, right? It's going to be hard
If
for
they
New
score
England.
30 points in one of the next two games, will they win one game? Yeah. I
What
think
was
so.
what was the score last night?
35-30.
Yeah, it felt pretty explosive.
And that was Patriots on the road.
That was badass. Cam looked pretty sweet.
He did.
Cam's looks like he's got his swag back. Yeah, I mean, I would say right now I'd feel pretty comfortable picking them to be a wild card team, if just general health, right? Which at this point in time is hard to say.
Yeah, I mean,
I like them more than the Colts. I like them more.
do you like it more than the Steelers at this point?
But I think both those two teams get in. Right? I think the Steelers are a playoff team, so I think.
Do the
know?
Patriots get in? I mean, in some ways, this is a big game this week. If you think Buffalo's going to win the AFC East, which I thought that. I'm not giving up on New England, but
even if you just go Buffalo, New England are playoff teams, right?
Yeah.
You'd argue these next 2 weeks.
Playing both.
These next 2 weeks are big.
You could
I think
sew
it's
up
fair. I think it's fair to say New England's a wild card team. If the
Yeah.
Raiders are a wild card, New England's a wild card team, right? They got
Yeah.
Cam fucking Newton and Bill Belichick, and they just went to Seattle, threw haymakers at them. That was one of the great stretches last night in recent memory of just like, whoa. Just seeing a guy like resurrect his career, seeing him. It's just, this guy's on the Patriots, and he's just doing this against Seattle.
It looks so weird.
It looked weird, but it also looked awesome. Like, honestly, I saw a lot of people tweeting it, and I agree. Like, listen, I'm not the biggest Cam guy, but I'm kind of rooting for him in this moment.
Well, it's just great. It's absolutely great television.
That game felt pretty big. I thought that game felt huge. Like, it's just like, whoa, this is just. I know you try to shove like Cowboys Giants down my throats for Sunday nights forever, but this is popping right now.
All right. So subscribe to the YouTube.
Yeah, check out the YouTube.
Podcast
tomorrow.
Podcast tomorrow. Lots to talk about. Raider game. And I think probably one topic this week, right, is just the AFC picture that we just talked about, the NFC West being the best division in football. Hopefully no 49ers get injured by tomorrow.
Yeah. Shanahan, Fangio, Pete Carroll, Gruden, and Sean Payton paying $700 million in fines by Wednesday. Yeah, a lot of ACLs. What happened to the Niners today? Why couldn't you just email an MRI?
Well, you need an MRI machine, and I don't think the Greenbrier has an MRI machine.
Oh, that's what happened.
So they had an MRI truck was going to drive to him, but the MRI
just
truck
send
broke
an
down.
MRI machine down to the Greenbrier because they got 7 million injuries, and the truck had a flat tire or something, or the engine broke.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I don't know what exactly, but
that sucks. It's very symbolic of the. God, what a rough.
All right, good Raider win. Fun
those
Monday
yellow
night game.
Blazers do look good.
They do look good. 50th anniversary of Monday Night Football, right?
You know what I appreciate about Steve Levy though?
Stop
most guys, most guys in the early 50s.
Well, he did for
and
a while.
I would imagine he did it. Do it.
Yeah, he just stopped recently, which get credit for it.
Yeah, just fucking wear it.
I
like
won't
you're
do
a
it.
good-looking guy with Silver Fox. Just rock it.
I won't do it.
To me, if you got good hair,
That's
like
at least what I'll say, and then you'll never know.
But my take is like it looks good.
I'm with you.
Gray.
I'm with you.
Like Steve Phillips, the Mets GM that was sleeping with all the people at ESPN, has wore gray hair for like 20 years. Just when you have a full head of hair, to me, it looks good gray, even if.
Yeah, who's that one actor?
Josh Duhamel?
No. He was God.
John Hamm?
I just typed in actor white hair. I don't know. Not sure it's gonna get me the guy I'm looking for.
Oh, the dude from he's in the fucking show with John Hamm, actually.
Yes, he's in the show with John Hamm.
Yeah, to me that
Mad
guy,
Men.
I'm
That's
jealous
the
of that
guy.
guy's look. Yeah,
See, I said guy with white hair, and you knew exactly.
Because it works. To me, it's
This
like
guy.
being bald. Like me being bald, you separate yourself.
John Slattery.
I like that guy. What other moot shows that guy been in?
He was in. I don't know. Let's see.
That was a nice little win by the Raiders. God, I did not see that coming, guy.
did you think, well, they got him last time remember the last time was the Gruden Big Balls game.
Which one was that?
The game Gruden went for 2. Like
No,
not
it
Gruden,
was
sorry. Del Rio.
Del Rio.
The great Del Rio.
That was sweet. When he threw to the fade to Crabtree, and Crabtree wiped his mouth.
Slattery.
Outrageous.
Arrested Development, Ant-Man, The Adjustment Bureau, Charlie Wilson's War, Iron Man 2, Desperate Housewives, Becker. All right.
Okay.
Well, on that note, subscribe to the YouTube. Go to the YouTube. If you're watching this on Periscope, go to the YouTube. We appreciate. Check that out. Things are
Also, if
blowing up
you guys want to gamble, check out mybookie.ag, promo code ham1, where I just won $250 tonight.
There you go.
Actually, not really, because they take a little vig. It was like $230.
All right, we'll have to
But,
make
you know.
our lock of the week. Our lock of the week is going to be 250 at some point. Big win for Milkoff. Big win for Gruden and Carr. Big win for, to me, big winner tonight was Derek Carr, John.
Yeah.
Big game, bright lights, big winner.
My take is to sleep on this. I would probably bet against the New York Giants. I know it's like 4.5. I just think the Giants stink. Kittle will probably be back. I feel good anytime you get a solid team against the Jets or the Giants. I just think it's the strategy early. And then maybe we get cocky and take an underdog in like a couple weeks. Because if you want to get cocky now, I wouldn't be opposed to like money line Lions. You could talk me into that. 250 money line
I would
Lions,
because
double our money.
I've liked Arizona. I would not like it. And you just told me, we talked about 2 weeks ago, why to bet against Detroit.
Yeah, but they've been sneaky. Like they were up 17-0 against the Packers. Or who'd they just play?
No, that was Green Bay. They were up 17. They were beating Green Bay.
The Lions just played Green Bay yesterday. Yeah. They were just winning. Now they ended up was like 34-20. I mean, they got blown out.
But they played. Green Bay's offense.
Yeah, but they've had a couple moments now in back-to-back weeks. They were up 23-6. Like they do. You would agree for all the shitty teams. Like they are in a different stratosphere than the Giants or the Jets. Of like you were betting against them, they would have you on tilt, right?
Yeah.
And you could just get Stafford could just have a 400-yard game against you. Yeah. I'll say it right now. I'm cool with going out on a limb, putting 250 on the Lions money line.
I don't feel great about it.
Yeah, it's bold. It takes money to make money. We want to get bold. We want to get bold. I'd be good with doing that. If not, I'm just cool with betting against Joe Judge. Watching the game anyway. And I just think they're terrible.
I just would have a hard time sleeping at night if I lost because Kyler Murray beat the Lions at home.
Well, yeah. Well, you take an underdog, yeah, you might lose Kyler Murray. Like it's bold play. It's just the bold play. Do we need to get this bold that early, or just keep stacking up a couple wins? Yeah, but I mean, let's just
obvious right play.
Yeah, I think the right play is the Jets, or I mean the Giants. But I would be cool. Like, are the Cardinals going to start like 5-0? Like this would be the type game they're kind of feeling themselves, playing the Lions 0-2. I'm going to put some cash on that game on the Lions.
Okay. I don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
I'm not. This isn't final decision. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm food for thought here.
You just want to get bold. You want to get bold.
I'm laying in bed. I gotta get it right. That's what I want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's betting. I mean, you can lose.
Well, I understand. But I'm not looking for the bold pick. I'm looking for the right.
Do you know what kind of stupid is? Trent Brown just walking by. I guess there's some controversy. He's like, I think he's like faking an injury or something. Have you seen that?
No.
They're like been going back and forth.
Some
Some weird
Raiders Reddit. Where can I find that?
No, I just think him and Gruden, they haven't like been on the same page with his injury. But like, he didn't wear a mask today. Like, don't, and maybe he was
talking.
The only. I mean, but yeah, I saw him talking to some people inside.
You did? Did he do this? Did he do the LeBron?
I saw someone say that one coach did a LeBron with his mask. They're like, God, these guys are really paranoid. No, Jason Garrett, we can't see your play sheet. I mean, we can't fucking see your lips, buddy. You're good.
Looking for the Trent Brown theory, conspiracy theory. All right,
I don't think it's conspiracy theory. I just think there's been some weird stuff going on. Okay,
go get this YouTube to 4,000 subscribers by the end of September.
Adios.
See ya.